You're a smart guy. I think you can handle it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. TV is not where I choose to do my thinking.
Ooh, I'm gonna ask about some stuff here, so everyone
Where
relax.
do you do your thinking, Chef?
What's
Ray?
up?
In the kitchen?
Yeah.
Are we recording?
In the shower.
Yeah, recording.
Oh yeah. So it's not a pod, but you know.
The Sultans of Cinema, the fuckboys of flicks, Chef, Larry, Chuck, Jimmy on the Zoom. Motherfucking Zoovie. It's Chuck Zoovie Corner, inaugural edition of Chuck Zoovie Corner. Chuck, action.
I don't know if it's like a Chuck Zuvie's Corner. It's more of like Larry's Film Studies 101. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it started. Okay, it started.
Of which we're all students.
Where did Jacob Gallagher study film again? Fucking
Penn State, the illustrious Penn State University.
Penn State Film 101.
Yeah, dude.
Buck was a Penn State. No, so it's
he was awarded the Vin Diesel Memorial Scholarship.
It was gonna be Chuck Zoovie Corner, but we realized Chuck's been doing enough. He went fucking hammer on the IG Live last night.
We'll get into that, yeah.
And also, every time we've kind of relied on Chuck to carry an episode, it's bricked. And so Lawrence and I were like, why don't we actually just do this ourselves?
Yeah, There Will Be Blood is like my favorite movie of all time. And I want to get into the relationship that you guys either had or didn't have with this amazing piece of cinema. But first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a fit check, and we're going to toss it to James first and foremost. Why don't you do that thing, doggy?
Got the Juicy Subies on.
Juicy Subi.
Black Stussy sweats that I've been marinating my meats in for many, many weeks now. The Robin merch.
Yeah, I got that too.
I've been dancing on my own all quarantine. And then, of course, the Needles, rebuilt by Needles. It's not one shirt. It's 7 shirts. Probably, honestly, I was thinking about it. This might be, my top 5 most favorite Johns ever because I've had this shit for, 10 years now. And you just, I use it as a pillow on the airplane. You wear in the fall, you wear in the spring, you wear in the summer, you wear in the winter. It's everything. And Lawrence, congratulations on getting your first 7-cut flannel recently. I know that's
not recently, but thank you.
You got it for free from Ford by Elise Walker.
Shout out Chief Key.
And the panties are, of course, Hanes copped off Amazon. I have a bunch more drying behind me. Fresh out the portable mini washer, which is operating in overtime in my bathtub because I am on strict lockdown and can't even go to the laundromat.
Wait, you said you've gotten the most questions about it on IG when you put it on your story more than anything ever.
The most replies and also the most I literally just had the Amazon link on copied to my clipboard and was just pasting it.
Wait, do you have an affiliate thing?
No.
Oh, my wife has that with books. You need that so you can get a little taste. You can get broken off, dog.
I'm an influencer.
As an influencer, yeah, exactly.
Home cleaning influencer.
Yeah.
But desperate times call for desperate measures. I'm not going to the laundromat, so it's I got to clean my fucking panties.
Yeah.
So I got a Coppa Flex, just the portable mini washer, and the Arlagace. I don't know if he's a workshop actually, but the little pink joints, which Lawrence, you're not a fan of, but shit.
I literally thought they were a bit like a joke, you got them at the Dollar General.
No, bro, come on.
Honestly, man, summertime.
What was the damage? What was the price tag?
That's gonna be so clean.
I mean, they matched the summer water.
How much did you? How much did you pay? The pod juice.
Yeah, they matched the natty. 120 maybe.
All right, that's not so bad. That's play money. That's not even real.
I have these in black, and you can't tell because the lighting shit, but they're kind of
opaque.
They're green tint.
Nice
frames. So.
Okay, let's toss it to Chef. We'll get a little fit check from the boy.
Yeah, dude. What's up?
Princeton alum, go Tigers.
Bear down, go Tigers.
Apologies to the homies.
Tiger King Chef.
I'm wearing Uniqlo socks, black denim by Acne Studios. What's up?
Akna.
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 Uniqlo U t-shirt. And this is a hoodie by one of my favorite bands. I'm gonna turn around so you guys can see it. These guys, they're called.
What's up?
What's up?
Yo, what's that dumper, Julia?
These guys, they're called Petite League. They're based in Bushwick. They're an incredible garage punk band. I highly recommend.
That's clean. That's clean merch, dude. That's clean.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Lorenzo. I think he designed it himself.
There's nothing on the front. It's just
Lorenzo.
There's nothing on the front.
You're talking to Lorenzo the Magnificent right now, bitch.
It's got a picture of him, and then it's got like all the song titles from their most recent record.
Yeah, no one knows who the fuck this band is, so it doesn't really matter.
I'll drop a link later. You should check them out. They're great.
Okay.
panties.
What's up? Oh, the panties. The panties are Hanes, man. I have like 30 pairs of the same underwear.
Okay. Chuck?
I'm wearing. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm wearing the floral Eric Emanuel slides.
Mm-hmm.
He gave it to us on brunch last year. Easter brunch. I'm wearing the Miles Eric Emanuel shorts.
Wow, you are caping right now for EE.
Well, it's like, what else are you gonna wear inside? You know what I mean?
Facts.
Power Supply. Got it at Kinfolk. Long sleeve. It's like a forest green. That's it. Uniqlo chonies as always.
Panties.
Spectacles.
Yeah.
You guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. The spectacles.
Woo! Warby Parker.
Chef, what are your glasses? I know you say it all the time, but I forget.
Oliver Peoples.
Oliver Peoples.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, Chuck needs to get into Chef's tax bracket.
Yeah.
Oh, and then me, I got on the Bang My Line, the indebted game worn from Pally, close personal celebrity friend.
Yes.
Hanes Supreme socks, 18 East sweats, and then a vintage.
I want to see those H&E sweats. I want to see the pattern. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude.
Hello.
And then I got on the it's from 1990. It's a Fleetwood Mac Behind the Mask tour vintage tee, European leg, and I have the USA leg as well. That's a white tee with a different graphic. You know, what can I say? I'm a cosmopolitan John's enthusiast. So.
And the panties.
Oh, Supreme Hanes, as always.
And the headphones.
Steve Jobs, baby. Beats by Steve.
Johnny Ive fam.
Everyone's got the lettuce flowing. Obviously, we've been fucking, furloughed from hitting up the barbershop. Shout out Mildred. Shout out Larry's Blind Barber.
Yeah.
Everyone's just letting it go. Lawrence, are you going to shave your shit at any point?
No, I'm too fat. I want my whole thing, and it's funny because my wife has been killing me about this. But for maybe the past literally 10 years, I've been like, yo, let me lose 20 lbs, maybe 25 lbs, and then just take it all off. That's how I used to do it in college. That was my whole thing. But
you were talking about doing it for the wedding.
Yeah, but I still didn't. I mean, that's the thing, man. When you get to be, Chef and Chuck don't get this, but once you're over 30. It's very hard to lose more than 8 pounds. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. So anyway, maybe one day.
For real. All
Fingers
right.
crossed. Fit check, complete. Yeah. Drink check. I'm doing a little Kevin Spacey Pinot Noir, and then I got some crispy 6s for when things start to pick up as well. What do you got, James?
I'm drinking this fuck is this? It's a little nice sparkling
Effervescent.
It's effervescent. The bubbles be hitting. It's a Portuguese wine. I think the vineyard's called Duck Walk or some shit.
Clean bottled, man.
Very, very clean branding. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yo, that's the most important thing when buying a bottle of Natty is how clean is the branding?
Yeah.
How juicy does the pod juice look? And then you go from there.
And how's the glue? That's
yeah.
Hold on, let me use this app real quick. Vivino.
You look so dumb right now in your glasses, taking a fucking pic of your wine bottle.
Bushwick band. I feel like I'm on Chef's merch.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, gotta support our local artists, man.
Our local garage punks. What kind of music did he say it was?
Garage punk.
Garage punk. All right. So they're just dudes that you know.
I don't even know them. I mean, I've met them before, but I've just been a fan since I was.
Are they famous, or they just work as baristas at your local coffee shop?
They had a moment back in 2016. Their first record did really well.
What is that? What does really well mean?
I mean, on Eternal Take One.
They got, I mean, they got a lot of buzz. There's a lot of like labels looking at them. They got a feature by this production company that I love called Yours Truly. It's just, you know, all the signs were pointing towards success, but I think the main guy just really wanted to like keep it as his own thing. So, you know, he kept it small and he kept it cool, and you know, they're doing their thing. I respect it.
Sounds like some fucking hipster bullshit.
It's really fire. Yeah.
Okay, what are you drinking, dog?
I just finished one of these perpetual IPAs.
Oh, right.
I'm moving on to what looks like Brewdog, which I know is based in England. It's an Elvis juice.
Oh, that's good. No, they have that. That's at one of my favorite brunch places. That shit is gas. But that's like another IPA.
Yeah, it is. I'm going.
Your cousin only drinks IPAs.
I mean, it's either like IPAs or like fucking Peronis, and yeah. I mean, I've just like I've had enough lagers for right now, so I'm just like, yeah.
Before we get into Chuck's drink check, what's your like what's a one beer that if you went to an open bar and that was the option, I mean, okay, you would drink it, but like what's the one thing you don't want to hear? For me, it's Heineken or Peroni, I guess.
Heineken or Corona?
Oh no, I love Corona, dude. You're tripping.
Corona tastes like skunk, and also come on.
No.
Heineken though, Heineken is ass.
Trash.
I don't care for it either.
How measured a response?
I'd fucking, you know what? No disrespect, but I really don't like Coors Banquet or Light.
Oh, what about Miller High Life? Same shit.
I love Miller High Life just because it's shitty and it's cheap, and I'm like all for that. But Coors Light, I feel like is just like trying to be Bud Light, and it's never gonna be Bud Light.
I don't know. Coors Light's not. I mean, taste the Rockies, my dude.
I also drink so much of it in college.
The peaks are blue.
I drink a lot of Keystone in college, so I think.
Yeah, it's like trash. I drank Busch Light in college, so like I have an affinity for that from a novelty standpoint.
But would you drink Busch Light now, or like has the taste?
I haven't had a Busch Light in 10 years, so I don't even know.
I haven't heard that name in years.
Yeah, Busch Light.
Fucking gas. This is so good.
No, the Elvis juice is mad good. All right, Chuck, what are you drinking right now?
Yo, it's kind of sad today because
you
set
the bar so high, dog.
I know my spot for some reason is not delivering on Postmates right now, and I've been trying not to go out a lot, obviously.
Sure.
So tomorrow when I go out and do my errands, I'm gonna stop by because that's the only place I want to buy stuff for.
Is it
Henry's?
Henry's
In Bushwick. So right now I'm drinking Brita water out of the 40 ounce.
Oh no! Are you at least?
Oh yeah, come on, dog. What the fuck?
Wait, so
Nice. Let me get that. I need that. Thank you. Yeah.
In the crib?
Excuse me?
You have zero booze in the crib?
There's a couple White Claws.
Break in case of emergency. Well, you drank the Virgil Moet.
Yeah, that was the real emergency.
How long have you been sitting on that?
Over a year.
Yeah.
Someone when I worked at
So bad.
when I worked at a retail store, someone was trying to bribe me to keep the store open past hours, and as like I did, and as like a little treat, he gave me that bottle of Virgil Moet.
Who is that? A Boogie with the hoodie?
I'm not gonna say.
Was it a rapper?
It might have been.
Or a ball.
A jeweler, a very well-known jeweler.
Jacob?
Not Howie.
Okay, all right. Relax, dog. Relax. Okay.
Was it Ben
So-
Baller?
Ben Baller?
No. Ben Baller doesn't go to fucking
Was it Johnny
beep
Dang?
of the beep. No,
Nope.
Dennis and the Craze?
Johnny Dang, dude.
I'm not telling you.
It was a jeweler?
Yeah.
Oh, Greg Yunna.
No. Maybe. Yeah, I did help him out on more than one occasion.
Of course you did. Oh, by the way, star of Uncut Gems, Greg Yunna, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So because we don't want to spoil too much for whatever boys only will be happening next week, presumably, I just need some burning questions answered from all of you, which I've prepared ahead of time. The first is James. James, just first and foremost, how do you feel? Do you have coronavirus or are you good?
Honestly, so I'm acting as if I'm assuming that I do have it.
Asymptomatic shorty.
I'm quarantining with someone who was symptomatic.
With someone, it's your fucking girlfriend, dude. with a civilian.
Already talked about it.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And so the assumption is that I had, even though we've been physically distancing for like 8 or 9 days now. No.
No.
You mean horny?
What else is new?
Nah, so honestly, so I had crazy symptoms on Sunday. Like not crazy, but like I had like I don't know.
Fever?
I had like everything short of a fever. I had like
Okay.
like a cold, like a headache, super crazy body aches, and I've kind of had like a low level like congestion cold for all week now. Today I'm pretty sure that I lost my sense of smell.
No.
Fuck.
That's the one. That's the thing.
I've
That
been
you,
farting
that
up
you
a
know.
storm nonstop because I made like a crazy like black bean soup. So I'm farting intentionally just to like check myself.
This is like, wait, in There Will Be Blood, HW.
Yeah.
He's like, you're just farting to see if you can smell.
I'm going to get the mail.
Stay here.
So like this wine even, I'm like, I can't really smell it, but then if I bury my nose in like a bag of coffee or like a thing of chocolate, I can smell.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm not sure if it's just like congestion. Luckily, I have a doctor friend who I've been annoying the shit out of just like nonstop. So I guess the thing is like, I'm just assuming that I have it. I haven't been outside, like literally not left the apartment for 8 or 9 days now. According to like the math, like I first showed symptoms on Sunday. So it's like, I can maybe go out after 7 days. I can go out obviously with like gloves and a mask and shit or precautions on Sunday, just like still avoiding people and shit. But I don't know. I gotta like I gotta check back in with my friend. So anyway,
still alive, still kicking.
Still alive, still kicking, still feeling somewhat normal. The walls are starting to close in a little bit. Tensions are running high.
Which brings me to my burning question. I saw on Instagram that your lady friend not only took a selfie in your crib, which I believe is a first, but was wearing a very noticeable signature horny Jimmy Arlegache John. Was that discussed ahead of time, or she just fired that off?
No, so that's been a whole thing, and I can't really talk about it too much because like it might be.
Sure. I just had to dip my toe in the pool.
I can't talk about it, but like, here's the thing: is that like she was obviously spending the majority of physical distancing, social distancing here, but it was like 3 or 4 nights here, go back home, replenish like clothes, toiletries, whatever, come back. But then all of a sudden, she started running a fever, and it was like, all right, like you can't leave.
Sure.
So she's been wearing a lot of my clothes. She was like kind of quarantined in my bedroom where all my Johns are. I've been living out of this, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I've been living out of this like fucking Snow Peak chair back there. Just like a pile of underwear.
Do Johns carry the disease?
No, so luckily I got the fucking portable washer dryer, but I'm not about to put my precious Arlegache nice fucking shirt.
Charge it to the game. I feel like that's hers now, at least for the immediate future.
Not that it's hers, it's that she likes it so much, and on her Zoom call, she's been getting so many compliments on it from her like fashion friends.
She debuted it on work Zoom calls. Got it. Now I see. Yeah, okay.
And I told the Joker, I was like, yo, bro, like sold out, but like, if you got one in the fucking inventory or in the back room, and he saw like she posted it and you commented and he liked your comment. I sent it to him and I was like, yo, this shirt belongs to the streets now.
Game recognized game, man. That's a big John. I mean, it happens. Okay. I had to touch on that. Chuck, I want to talk to you now. How do you think your IG live went yesterday?
What?
Nothing.
Oh, he's getting in trouble. He's getting in trouble. That's why I only pod after my bitch goes to bed.
Oh my God. Yo.
No sex.
That wasn't that bad. Are you talking about me?
No, I'm talking about me.
Oh. Well, what did he say?
Me?
Who? Wait, what?
You said the B word about your.
Oh, whatever, dog. I'm
Yeah.
married. It doesn't
Couldn't be
matter
me.
anymore. Yeah, you're our bitch, dog. No, Chuck. How do you feel like your IG live went? Because like clearly in the moment felt pretty fucking good. We talked about it a little bit, but how do you feel? Let's do a little quick recap.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah?
And I'm really thankful to everyone who came and was like asking questions and like trying to help me keep it moving, because it was really hard to like keep like try and being entertaining every second of it. And
Our
Yeah.
fucking life, dog.
What do people normally do? Like when a civilian, because everyone's complaining that, oh, there's so many IG lives. Like, what do people do? If you're a pedestrian, like you just chill?
No,
One,
they play their rap hits of yore.
No, I don't mean like Manny Fresh versus fucking coked out Scott Storch. I mean like if like a normal, when Pally and Wolf went live, what do? You just have a conversation, I guess, or?
I think you talk, and I think you answer the comments.
Okay, so Chuck, this is the next question. Then are we going to do this again? Are we going to make it weekly? And if so, it seems like you should almost like use it as an opportunity to host your own show where it's all tap-ins, right? That shit was going real well to some degree. Some better than others, but you know what I'm saying.
I would love to do it again. I would love to do it weekly. I would love to like kind of coordinate some of these tap-ins before they happen, so that there's more of an incentive for people to come in. And
Incentive.
I think,
You want to incentivize the populace?
yeah, it's like, who knows? Maybe next week it'll be fucking Obama or some shit. Who knows?
Chuck, I was texting people. I was like, yo, you ready to tap, like kind of on the side a little bit. Obviously, it's like 50-50, but there's definitely people that weren't able to tap in or thought they could but couldn't, but that are on standby for next week.
Let's fucking do it.
There's
Connect
a
me.
queue. There's a
Loop
queue.
me in.
A
Connect
waiting
us.
list.
Connect us.
Tap in, Cap. Make the tap in happen, Captain.
Yeah.
What's that? Did someone have a notification on?
Somebody got an email.
That was James.
James fucking, oh, you don't have headphones. Yeah, put do not disturb on. Speaking of the live, Sham, I didn't realize because you were talking, well, I don't know if we want to say, well, I guess it's pretty obvious, but you were talking about potentially, I don't know, sliding in somebody's DMs as the resident single member of the Core 4. How horny are you? Are you chatting with anyone? Are you virtual dating? Like, what's the status?
I'm like slightly above average horny right now.
Okay, all
You know,
right.
it's been like a month since I've seen a girl my age.
Since I've seen a pussy.
So yeah, that's a thing.
Wait, since you've seen
I'm chatting left and right.
Female?
What's up?
It's been a month since you've seen a 24-year-old female, or a female like in her like.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess I maybe not a month. I mean, I left the city like 3.5 weeks ago.
In the biblical sense.
Yeah. I literally have not seen, and even when I came back to the city for for a hot sec last weekend, didn't see anybody. So yeah. I did slide yesterday. There was a little bit of back and forth, but I left it
With our.
Yeah.
With, can we say?
What's up?
Can we say?
Probably not.
Okay. I mean, it's pretty obvious you can figure
Yeah,
it out.
yeah. But I mean, it was, yeah, we'll see.
John Moy.
It was Moy for sure.
Yeah. He's got a real tight pussy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't say much, honestly. I'm not.
Oh, really?
I'm not good at that kind of stuff.
I mean, you were asking a lot of questions about like very fundamental, like, what do I say?
I asked one.
What do I do?
And that was literally
You're
it.
smooth, dude. You're good.
I'm smoother in person than I am online, but I have been.
I'm smoother in person. You'll see when we meet.
You guys have a lot in common already, and like I feel like the awkwardness that was going to naturally be there is like part of the charm.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really expecting.
Probably knows this fucking man on the back of your hoodie or whatever. Rattler.
Maybe. I don't know.
Sam's also the undisputed cutest one out of the four of us.
Oh, so cute, dude.
So it's like he doesn't have to say much.
Throwing hat in
Yeah,
the ring.
but looks aren't everything.
If you have a face like Sam, you just gotta be like, hi.
So this has been a long time.
Robbie Kelly, you know, also, dude, that man tore it up at fucking corporate retreat.
Wait, hold up. I just want to say this. This has been a long time coming. Sham, as the former heartthrob of the group, I would actually,
Cute one.
I'd like to take this opportunity to bequeath that title upon you because A, I'm wifed up, and B, I'm old and fat and jolly, and you're just like the young fucking
He's hot, dude. He's hot.
on the block now.
He's just, bro.
That's big of you, Jamie.
Wow, thank you for your service, bro.
Oh, dude,
What a guy.
I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah,
well, Chris Black said it really well yesterday. Coming out of this thing, hopefully a little bit hotter and a lot smarter for sure.
Sure.
So
I just wanted to raise a glass to the mustachioed Waluigi evil horny chef era that is clearly beginning, and I can't wait to see the results. You know, that's basically it.
This is not happening.
Okay, finally, before I guess we get into Zuvi time, small biz shout outs. I'll go first because it's really simple for me. I've just been hitting Grailed, and I don't want to say like I'm carpet bagging, but like, you know, I'm wheeling and dealing, and I feel like I'm sending money to young independent Johns enthusiasts across the globe. The last purchase I made was from a motherfucker in Malaysia. That's why I asked about coronavirus on clothes, because I got some vintage Comme des Garçons, and I don't know if it's contaminated. I wore it around the house a little bit. Fine, but
Can we see it? Can we see it?
no, it's in Jenna's sleeping. It's in the bedroom. So
Is it?
it's a chore coat. It's a denim. It's from like 1990. It is Comme des Garçons home. It is a denim chore coat, corduroy collar, kind of like just like a Carhartt thing, but comb. So
It's
better.
on, homie.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm doing. James, who are you supporting in this trying time?
So it's actually kind of tough. Like, you know, obviously, I'm trying to throw my support behind like the healthcare workers on the front lines.
Sure.
Fucking, you know, King Bernard, Comrade Bernard, fighting for Medicare for all. Which is, you know, if we had Medicare for all, like we wouldn't have.
Come on, man. It's so obvious, you know.
But it's like, where's my expertise? It's in the John's world, and obviously, John makers and distributors aren't necessarily like going to. It's not going to die, but it's like that's, you know, the fallout of this is going to affect people. We were talking about this a little bit. We talked about this with Foster. So I have been trying to get a little tipsy off the natty and just like cop a John. My goal is to cop a new John a week from like a small brand, from a small store.
Very noble.
Yeah. So it's like, and I realized I was like, yo, honestly, I've kind of like used to be all about that, but have kind of, you know, as we've gotten bigger and famous and, you know, made all these celebrity friends, it's been about Nike, New Balance, Stussy, all these like big brands that like, you know,
yeah.
Or just the shit we get for free. So the shit that I've copped so far, I copped some pants from 18 East. Shout out to homie Antonio. Even though
he texted me being like, "Yo, is this James?" And he sent me a screenshot of your order. I think you might get some goodies. No promises, but he
was like,
confirmed the kill with me. So
I ordered some pants. He's like, "What's your shirt size?" I was like, "Bro, please don't send me a shirt." But he's like, "You'll be the first to have this." I was like, "All right, let me get that shirt."
Yeah, let's go. Run it up. That's sick. Shout out to Antonio. Shop 18 East right now.
Easy breezy. And like the thing about 18 East is that like not only you're supporting, you know, the New York operation, but also like the artisans that he employs in like places like India or Ireland.
No, in India right now is a powder keg. That's a term that he used when we were texting. Like, you never know. He was telling me like they're gonna have product for a minute now. So that's the biggest thing. I don't want to like talk about Antonio's business, but they're gonna have new product for a minute. Just every drop, every Thursday, cop up, like fucking run it up. That's really all that matters.
I mean, that's the thing is like you like there's this isn't just like you're not just buying from like a designer. Like there's it's a whole web, right? So if you immediately remove yourself from that, you are allowing this like entire web and structure to like collapse.
Sure.
So he obviously works with like artisans around the world. So whatever. So I got these like herringbone linen kind of easy breezy pants where I'm gonna not wear them with any underwear, let the fucking meaty clackers clack.
Ooh.
And then also shout out Christopher Green and the homies at Need Supply, which is a store that I feel like kind of flies under the radar, especially now that they've like been grouped with Totokayo. But they
got Johns, they got brands,
they got fucking gas. So South 2 West 8 is a brand under the Nepenthes umbrella. I feel
the
like
Gorpcore outdoors brand.
It's the
of theirs.
Like I would say it's like the redheaded bastard stepchild of like the Nepenthes family. Obviously, like EG and Needles get all the shine. South 2 West 8 is kind of like right there, and they started out just doing bags, but they've started. I mean, they're like if Needles did like fly fishing gear.
Exactly. Yeah, it's outdoor stuff. It's such big gas, and I feel like it's not crazy. There's no name recognition, right? Like it's a crazy brand name. we've known about it because we would write about them and shit at Complex and Four Pins. But it's the most underrated Nepenthes brand. Full stop, in my opinion. It's sick,
definitely,
especially right now when Gorp is popping.
And like so whatever. So I got like a navy mohair sweater with like their like fucking like deer skull.
That's fire. Yeah, it's a fire piece.
Woven into it with their like it's like trippy, weird, like outdoorsy vibes, but it's not like online ceramics level. It's fire.
Big gas.
My goal. Oh, and also these Legace shades off a little website www.grail.com.
Yeah.
But yeah, my goal is to order delivery from a local restaurant or bar once a week. Gonna order from La Nox.
Oh yeah, that's right. Shout out JV.
Damn it, that was mine.
Gonna get
save it.
Board this weekend, and then yeah, my goal is to order a John a week, even if that's like a pair of socks from NA, the official socks of the Post Eagle World, or South to West 8, a Nepenthes brand. So that's my goal until this thing, because as long as we're still getting paychecks, it's like, why not just fucking inject that shit straight into the fucking economy? Chuck?
Yeah, I was gonna say Lennox is it was supposed to open this summer, but obviously they can't now, which is pretty unfortunate. But
yo, the opening party was like St. Patrick's Day, like worst possible timing.
Yeah, fuck. The brains behind Kinfolk, JVL, Jay Paris, Michael Carney designed that like the menu and shit for them. So you know, dude, it's gonna be gas. We should get him on the pod. He's the homie. I could probably, I should get him on the pod for sure. Yeah, shout
out Michael Carney. Shout out the Central High. You know the fucking vibes.
The designs for Bedouin are so fucking good.
Yeah, he's fired, dude.
And he used to do all the covers for one of my favorite bands, Tennis.
Right?
His brother is one of the dudes in the Black Keys.
Yeah.
The drummer, right?
Yeah.
Fire.
Ledge. Chef?
I mean, dude, I've been in Princeton. I've copped John's. I supported the boys in Manchester, Oi Polloi. I copped like fucking.
Hey, bruv.
Hey, bruv. I copped a Battenware tote.
Bread, mate.
A folk just like camp collar white linen shirt.
Nice.
And I bought the Chuck 70s that I was wearing yesterday from there.
Are you wearing those? You're not wearing those right now, right?
I'm not wearing them right now.
What you said they're sunflower? Like it's a sunflower pattern?
It's colored. It's just like a.
Oh, got it. It's like a yellow.
It's a muted yellow. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. No.
I want to see those.
And then I just copped like. What's up?
Folk right now, because Folk was like a brand that was big when like Lawrence and I were at Complex.
Yeah.
Like funky heritage menswear, but like, are they still killing it? Like, I haven't heard of them in a minute, but if you
I wouldn't say they're killing it. Like they aren't doing anything like super interesting, but I will say that their fits, especially for trousers and shirts, are like pretty good for me. I'm a small guy, so you know, I like the way that it fits. And usually when I find something that fits me well, I'll just
Side note, there are so many brands that were at Man Trade Show, Legace being patient zero, like the behemoth of that, but like Folk and a bunch of other brands that like right now, the stuff they were doing, this is whatever, 5-6 years ago, is so right now. But I feel like people, because there's no blogs anymore, no one talks about this shit. This is why you gotta just fucking do you gotta subscribe to the Patreon of the only podcast that matters, so you could learn yourself some fucking culture. And then 2, just poke around on the Google machine, you know? Read old articles, complex style, 4 pins. You're gonna find some heat, bro. It's that simple.
What like category do you call that? Is it just like contemporary menswear? Because like back during
what would you call Legace?
You said Man, but I think you meant like Capsule.
No, I meant Man Trade Show, because Capsule had that stuff too, but I feel like Man, that's where I first ever really met the Joker and fucking saw that shit, was that Man show.
So I met them at Capsule, but whatever, same shit. Like basically you had like the trash streetwear trade shows like Agenda and Magic.
Sure.
And you had like luxury streetwear, and then you kind of had this like gap in between, which back then was called contemporary menswear.
Contemporary, I guess, yeah.
Whatever. Like yes, there's definitely still fucking heat. I mean, honestly, what I've been doing is going to stores that I know and trust and just going through the brand list, and any brand that I don't know or haven't heard of, I'll just go click on and like check it out and go just like Google them.
For sure.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah.
No. That's fine. I think we did that, right? So that was the small biz check. We're good. We're moving on. Fantastic. Okay. There Will Be Blood. The greatest movie of all time, easily. Guardian movie of the century, right? You know, this is nothing to shake a stick at. Chef and Chuck had not seen this movie until how recently, Chuck, for you?
Wait, Jimmy, oh fuck, your shit is like, there's too much stuff in
Yeah,
here.
James, you blew it, dog. I'm good though.
Yeah, there we go.
Wait, Chuck, you had it. So both you and Chef hadn't seen it, and I was yelling at you about it because you're such like a Zuvi guy. When did you watch it? How recently? A month ago?
I think about 2 months ago, probably like beginning of the year.
Okay, beginning of the year.
Before it was on Netflix for sure because I had to rent it.
Oh, you had to pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
so
think
it's been a minute.
Yeah.
What was your relationship to the film, or like what were your preconceived notions before you had watched it? What did you know about it?
I had no idea what it was about, and
Really?
yeah, and honestly, I don't think this is crazy because like I love movies now, but like I don't think I had seen a Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Oh,
Until this?
Yes, I swear.
damn.
You had never
Punch Drunk
seen
Love. I don't think I saw that.
Sure. Boogie Nights?
I saw the dick part with my roommate one time.
Okay. Damn, dude. Wait, so have you still need to see all of these? Magnolia, Boogie Nights,
I
Punch
saw
Drunk Love.
Phantom Thread.
Right. Beautiful flick. I mean, I feel like wait, you don't like it?
Well, I thought There Will Be Blood was way better.
100%.
I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis did. I think they're both fucking incredible performances. But after watching There Will Be Blood, I was like, fuck, this might be the best. Yeah.
Well, he won. So he was nominated for best actor for both. He won for There Will Be Blood. He did not win for Phantom Thread, which was, as of right now, he retired. That's the final performance. Sham, so you had never seen it either until what, 2 days ago?
I watched it on Sunday, so like 4 days ago for the first time.
That's crazy to me because I feel like, and I mean, listen, we joke about this, but you're the hipster. You're all about prestige, I feel like.
Yeah,
I don't know how you would miss this, to be honest.
I am, but I just like.
James, what is going on, bro?
Fuck.
You look crazy.
Dude, it's pretty trippy. No, I definitely am, but like here's the thing. I kind of alluded to this earlier when we were just chatting, but like I don't watch a lot of serious shit, especially like movies and stuff. Like I like coming of age movies and rom-coms, like whether they're prestige or whether they're shitty, like it doesn't matter. That's like when I have to pick a movie for myself, that's typically what I
you use film as like escapism versus like, I don't know, falling into a period piece epic.
For the most part, I mean, like obviously, like as I've gotten older, when like notable movies come out, like I will watch them for like
right.
respect like the fucking art form. But There Will Be Blood came out when I was 13 years old, and I wasn't like.
It came out in 2007, so you were 13. Chuck, how old were you in
12 then?
You were 12 because I was like 14.
Yeah, it was 12.
So you guys couldn't even see an R movie, or I guess you can when you wait. How old do you have to be to see an R movie? 14?
17.
7? No, that's
You could go with a parent if you're under 17.
Okay.
If your parents are cool.
Yeah.
So if they're tight. So
yeah,
both
of you haven't seen watched by choice.
What's that?
What was the last movie you watched by choice?
The last movie I watched by choice. I mean, I've been on the.
You're like doing your homework for this, but like.
Yeah, I've been on.
He was forced to watch it by his employer throwing fits.
No, I enjoyed this one. No, I've been on my Criterion Collection shit. I've been going through Eric Romer's movies.
Send the password.
Honestly, yeah, I got you, man.
Illegal.
Whatever. But yeah, no, Eric Romer. He's like a French director, made a lot of shit like in the 60s and 70s.
Bro, what the you're talking about this bullshit and you had never seen.
They're mostly movies about. I'm fascinated by relationships and romance, dude.
Yo, this movie is all about how to destroy relationships.
I know, and I
with
didn't
the
realize that
people
until
care about you.
I didn't realize that until I fucking watched it. I went into this
Sure.
blind too. I had no idea what it was about when I
Did
started.
you smoke your last joint when you watched this movie? Like you said,
I smoked half of it. I'm saving the other half.
Ooh.
I'm saving the other half because my cousin and sister-in-law both really want to smoke weed, and neither of them ever have before.
You're saving it to watch Look Mom, I Can Fly, so LaFlame could say.
Yeah, I'm tuning into the Grailed movie night on Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Chef, what do you think this movie was about? Like a fucking like nurse like taking blood donations? Like, what do you think this was?
I just thought it was like a fucking like Western or some shit. Like that's what it looked like in the pictures.
Yo, it's a Western. This is a Western without cowboys, right? That's what this is amazing. This is what's amazing about it. Because it feels familiar to some degree, but it's completely different to any Western ever, right?
I mean, epic landscapes, great music,
accents,
dialogue. Yeah,
everything about it. Actually, I loved it. No, I was like, I was hooked the entire time.
So James, obviously, when I was thinking about what I wanted to ask you to start this off, you strike me as a huge TV guy, and I don't just mean reality, but I feel like you've watched like almost all prestige television since we've started the podcast to now. I feel like there hasn't been a prestige show that you missed. Had you seen this like once before, twice before?
So it was kind of crazy. So I think this is the third or maybe even fourth time that I've watched this, but this is the first time I watched it in segments.
Okay.
And to me, or for me, that really allowed me to like actually appreciate this more than before.
Sure.
Like when you kind of, it's a long movie. It's what, like 2.5 hours?
It's 2:36.
Yeah. So I was just making all these connections, and obviously I was like trying to pay attention so I could like talk about it here. Because before I feel like I watched it because like the music's sick, it looks great, and DDL is just like
goated.
Awesome. People say it's an overhyped performance. I disagree.
Who says that?
The homies.
Fuck the homies, dude. Fuck them.
But no,
overrated. That's crazy.
There are a lot of like major plot points where I kind of like was like, oh shit, like I didn't realize that before. Also, I will say that I think that there are now so many more movies that fall kind like recently that I've enjoyed that kind of fall into the same like categories this, where it's kind of like there's no very tidy like full circle plot point. It's really just kind of like you're watching this guy and it's like about the plot. It's about like, again, like you said, like him just fucking burning everything around him.
Though I will say that I think one of the most satisfying things about this movie, when you do watch it from start to finish, is the very complete like arc of how it kind of like starts and how it ends. And we could talk about the ending later. What I will say to your point, James, about watching it in segments. So unlike you guys, I've probably seen this 30 times, maybe. Yeah, it's definitely, it's a favorite and easily, a movie that I'll watch, I'll say twice a year. Minimum, to be honest.
Christmas movie.
For sure. But what's crazy about the set pieces in this movie, mainly like this joint behind me when they fucking blow up the derrick, like that's the thing. Every scene I feel like in this movie, like you can almost watch it like people watch fucking clips on YouTube. And assuming you've seen it one time front to back, that's actually a really fun way to consume the movie. And I know this because I basically did this last night because I was fucking zooted out of my gourd trying to create any semblance of a run of show. So it was a lot of start and stop. But yeah, I agree. It is a beautiful movie to watch in segments. Even if you've already seen it, go back, watch it that way. Let's talk about the soundtrack. Chef, I want to throw to you as our resident movie critic. So a couple interesting things here. Johnny Greenwood, right? Which also, I was thinking about, what a ridiculous fucking name. Kind of like Daniel Plainview. Literally, you could have switched the names.
That is real name.
Ye old-timey ass name. Very bizarre. I don't know if it's his real name. Does anyone, Chef, do you know?
I don't know if that's his real name.
Are you a Radiohead guy?
I'm actually not. No, and it's a big point of contention amongst like a lot of a lot of my friends.
Amongst the hipsters.
Yeah, actually though. But I mean, it's like, yeah, I never got into them. And it's not that I don't like it. I just literally have never felt the inclination to like dive deep into it. I feel like I just like
Creep, great karaoke.
Oh,
well, yeah. I mean, I know that one.
and an awesome song that is featured in fucking The Social Network, another top 3 movie for me. Which
Yo, Trent Reznor smashed that.
bro, for real, that would be my recommendation for the next TF.
I would say
whatever
that
this is,
Johnny Greenwood
one.
is like Johnny Greenwood is our generation's Hans Zimmer.
Whoa, really?
Hans Zimmer is our generation's Hans Zimmer.
Facts.
Our generation's John Williams. How about that?
I want to play a game with you guys. So, what do you think Pitchfork? What score did Pitchfork give to the There Will Be Blood original soundtrack? What do you think?
5.5.
5.5, Chef. What do you think?
I'm gonna say like it was pretty good. I would say like maybe like a 7.7.
7.7.
Damn.
Chuck, what do you think?
Well, I was gonna say 7.9. That feels maybe a little high now, but
Well,
it's just like it's
final
so
answer?
everything just like kind of crescendo. I loved what he did. I loved what he did.
Good. It was a really good score.
They gave it an 8.1,
Jesus.
Oh,
and most people expected it to obviously win the Oscar for Best Original Score. It was not. It was ruled ineligible because of pre-existing material. So
I remember hearing about that.
not
because
shit.
They
Yeah.
just issued they issued the vinyl of it like pretty recently, right? I
Really?
think it was like a year ago or something like that. Yeah. But
do
yeah,
think-
but I will say I liked Johnny Greenwood's Phantom Thread score more than
Incredible. Of course, it's a different thing, right? It's more the Phantom Thread score is more. It's truly beautiful music
Yeah.
that
Like, I put
complements the narrative and the plot of that movie, which is elegant and obviously like a different type of period piece. Where this shit is just unsettling and dissonant and fucking brutal.
This film
Yeah.
would be nothing without the score. Like they're
Well, yes, this is a huge part.
the dread and the
Yeah.
evil that shit dredges up from the fucking bowels of the earth, just like Daniel Plainview, was like, you know, it's tangible. Like you fucking
dude. Even like from the opening fucking scene when he's in that pit and you hear that the first like chord of strings, holy fuck! I knew from like that first second that I was like, oh fuck, this
and
is
the way it ends, I feel like the music is what makes the ending. Like I'd be
For sure.
very
Well, that's part of the unoriginal music. That's like a Vivaldi movement or whatever. You know, I'm not a fucking nerd. So
also fucking DDL saying I'm finished.
of course. I mean, the movie. What's crazy, so you were talking about, Chef, how it opens. That's another thing that's wild about this movie. For the first literal 15 minutes, there's like no dialogue at all. Which
Zero.
Is,
Yeah.
Which is, it's like well, not a silent film because obviously the score plays a part, but that's such a,
it's him whispering at a rock.
yeah. My man just out here chasing paper, dude. You gotta respect that, you know? I can't. You know, and he drags himself out of the fucking mine after he breaks his leg. Like
He says like
TF function at 5:30 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Just dragging himself just like across the fuck. You know what the fuck going on. Okay. All right. So everyone was down with the soundtrack for the most part. What do we think of the fits, dude?
So wait, when did this come out? 2007?
All right, so the movie comes out in 2007, and to be clear, what I love about this movie, and I think this might be a choice that some people maybe don't appreciate, I love how they PTA flashes like the year, so you get an idea of like the industrial revolution that is happening at the turn of the century. So the movie starts in 1889, then they go to 1902, then the majority of the movie happens throughout 1911. And for some context there, that's like the meat of the movie. The Titanic sunk in 1912. So that's kind of your comp there. And then the movie wraps up in 1927. But for the most part, I feel like the fits are fairly consistent across that time period. I don't know what we think. I feel like people don't talk about the fits in this movie as being like cool. You know what I'm saying? It's very double RL.
I think that this movie was low-key one of the more like influential reference points for #menswear.
Really?
Yes, which a lot of people don't or now and then weren't like immediately pointing to it, but it was for sure like he was wearing the fucking, I mean, he was suited and booted the whole time. He had the fucking high-waisted trow. He had the pens and instruments in the fucking pockets and shit. He had the big old
Instruments.
fucking oil, like the oil skin.
Those hats are dumb. Those hats are dumb.
No, the hats are the best part, I feel like.
It's I guess if you're digging oil, it's cool, but like
Digging oil, drilling.
whatever,
for oil.
like drilling for oil, but like that's like some brunch. That's some Chelsea food ass shit.
But also just like
2020.
hearing like the weight of his boots like fucking
Yeah.
laying down on like the wooden planks of the bar and shit where he gets wasted with his deaf son and like yells in the face like the oilman.
Yeah.
I do think that this film was 2007, right?
Yeah.
Right before the fucking proliferation.
Like 1 or 2 years before. It's actually right there now that you mention it. You're probably not wrong.
If you, I knew that you're gonna like talk about the fits. Obviously, we're a fucking
Sure.
fashion podcast. I do like how like his like wax canvas coat was very when he killed his brother was like very broken in. Like
His brother. That dude was capping so hard, bro.
That scene was so good.
his
Yeah.
cardigan at the very end, like that shit
Yeah,
is very
That's a big guess, yeah.
disgusting and stained and worn in. So, like, I mean, I assume that the fits are apropos to their time. I mean, the man's was wearing the full body length bathing suit.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing the men's Fashion Nova.
No, they're wearing like it's like long johns when they hit the beach, dude.
Yeah, and his like, I mean, the very small detail, but not to put it past DDL, but he had like crazy eyebrow hairs and hairs and shit that he definitely like did not groom at all. Obviously, to like prepare himself for this role.
Well, you can like watch it as he gets more like, I think the implication, at least what I see is like, and you get this really towards the end, is he's like a full blown alcoholic, right? Like has the jitters. There's a scene right at the end when Eli comes back to the bowling alley and he's like shit faced and he wakes up. He's like doing the fucking futsal shuffle, dude. He's like so drunk. He like can't even balance himself out. He's doing the Tootsie slide or whatever the fuck. But like, the stash gets more gross. The hair, they like fuck up his hairline a little bit, or at least how his hair is, and his eyebrows. I noticed that too. It's like full blown maniac status.
Fucking what's Gigi Hadid's dad's name? He's got those eyebrows.
Muhammad.
Yeah, he's got Muhammad Hadid eyebrows.
He could have just guessed the most popular name in the world. He would have got it right. But so let's talk about, listen, a huge theme of this podcast is God is ass, right? This is, as far as canon of FU, or the podcast that should not be named, and TF, that's like a well-established fact. This movie kind of really puts God is ass on a pedestal. I kind of fuck with it. I don't know if anyone has any thoughts about that theme. I know Chef mentioned it over text the other night.
God is a superstition.
That was the two things that I texted you guys after watching it was my review. Big gas, because it's all about oil. And and God is ass, dude, because it's straight up like that was. First, I want to give a shout out to Paul Dano, who I think is
bro.
Yeah, the fucking talent.
Snubbed. A lot of people thought at the time, remember, big Oscar snub. Best supporting actor.
Are you going to talk about him? Are you going to talk about Paul Dano?
We can talk about Paul Dano. He's incredible.
Dude, I saw Paul Dano do you don't fuck with him?
What?
He was a complete miscast.
No. Well, do you know the story?
Dude, I don't know about that, man.
So here's the deal, right? So they had casted an unknown actor to play the Paul and Eli Sunday role. And apparently the rumor is that on set within like the first week of filming, DDL went to PTA and he's like, yo, I don't vibe with this dude. He can't keep up. Some like, just kind of like how they cast the way they casted HW is they just went to local schools where they filmed in Texas and they just found some fucking kid and they're like, yo, like he's cool. Let's go. It's kind of how we found Chuck, right? Same fucking vibes.
Jonah found Sonny.
What's up?
It's how Jonah Hill found Sonny Suljic or whatever.
Exactly. Off of IG, just doing skate clips or whatever, but like the same principle. So James, to your point, Paul Dano was not casted originally, but I thought he was amazing.
I thought he was way too young. Like his baby face just kind of like popped the bubble for me. Like, and him playing this fucking, freak ass. Like in my mind, I was like, yo, why couldn't this have been like PSH?
He was, but he was.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Why couldn't this been a more like grizzled? And I know that he was like young at first, and he was like the son of Abel. Shout out The Weeknd.
Yo, shout out Abel. Yo, Abel Sunday, literally The Weeknd. I wrote that in my notes. It's ridiculous.
But Paul Dano was just like he could still play teenagers. So
Well, I think that the way that I interpreted it was that like it just kind of shows his fucking naivete as a
Yes, 100%.
as a young dude that like has grown up in this little Boston that doesn't fucking know much, that thinks that, you know, he's had this like crazy revelation and then he's gonna like base his entire life around that shit, you know, like, and I think that keeping that in mind, he fucking crushed it. And I love Paul Dano all around. Everything that he's done in his career, I think, is super good.
I agree. He's super underrated, and I think to Chef's point, James, I think it had to be a young person because this movie is all about what, like things that are diametrically opposed to some degree: religion versus capitalism, young versus old. And I only know this because I just watched the remaining hour that I had after being too fucked up last night to finish, like a couple hours ago. But at the end, before Daniel, no spoiler alert, fucking murders him, he literally he calls him a boy 100 times throughout the movie. But like he even says at the end when he's like, "I'm the third revelation," he's like, "You're a sniveling bitch. I'm old. You're young." Like the age is a huge factor. So if it would have been Philip Seymour Hoffman, even though that would have been an incredible
It would have been sick, yeah, and he would have crushed it.
More on some like The Master, right, where you have Joaquin versus Philip Seymour Hoffman, which is incredible. But like, it wouldn't have made sense, I think, with the script. But I think Paul Dano got snubbed from an Oscar. I thought he was amazing.
I don't know, I just could not see babyface Paul Dano leading a congregation and like fucking like, you know, throwing people to spirits. And like maybe she was different in like 1898 because you died at the fucking age of
Yeah, sure, yeah. Literally.
Had to be a fucking reverend at, you know, age of 24 or whatever. But I don't know. To me, that was always the weak spot. And also, it was just his baby face to me.
Yeah.
I
get it.
Everyone's so grizzled. Everyone's so fucked up. You're either deaf or you're fucking, you know, been hit by a drill bit or some shit. Like Paul Dano as the God figure. And I know that as the God figure, you're supposed to be like a rosy cherub, like our boy Chuck here.
Right.
It just never.
Our third revelation, Chuckles Franco.
I would preach the shit out of some shit, man. I swear. I could run a church or whatever.
Preach.
Fucking around. I'll fuck around and run a church.
Young Chuckles preach.
What are we talking about? The bits?
No, we were just talking just like generally. We were talking about God his ass. We're talking about God his ass.
Yes, God his ass. For sure.
Yeah. What do we think? So obviously, if the whole point here is that God is ass and that capitalism is going to destroy religion fucking 5 times out of 5, how fucking, and I think this is kind of like the beauty of PTA. I mean, he's my GOAT, at least pound for pound. Him and Kubrick probably, to be completely frank, and that might rub some people the wrong way, like Spielberg fans or whatever. But I think that's what's the most amazing about this movie is that the allegory that is being made is like, so this movie came out in 2007, obviously, I think very important then. But how about right now, bro? This is real life, man.
Also, right now, I had a thought when I was thinking back for today, and I was like, damn, like Daniel's character is kind of like he was on self-isolation before everyone else. Like he just fucking hated everyone. He wanted to be in a mansion by himself. Like he basically is an inventor of that.
Quarantine of the spirit, quarantine of the soul, self-isolation of the soul.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I feel like it's common knowledge that you don't become a billionaire by, you know, anyone who's a billionaire is a fucking psychopath. And
piece of shit.
Amen.
This guy did not give a shit about the money. He was just like, you know, there's a competition in me. I can't see him win. And to him, it's not about making money. It's about crushing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the fucking the fire under his ass of capitalism and just like winning as an individual, I feel like is very pertinent to today's times.
Sure. That's the push and pull of capitalism, right? Capitalism in a pure form furthers and builds up and creates the future. But let's be also clear, it destroys whatever is in its way to get its goal. And I think that's like,
one shot that I had never noticed up until this viewing was when he was like scouting the pipeline with his brother on the bandy track, and they're just like nailing in the stakes, and it's just like red on top.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, this man is the fucking devil. You know, bleeding blood from the earth.
Sure.
To me, that was a great, like, you know, allegoric, symbolic shot from your man's PTA.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it really is just like, I mean, think about it. This man's dealing with the fucking Rockefellers, like Union Oil and shit. Like this was
Standard and Union, right? Yeah.
It was the absolute beginning of monopoly barons.
True. I was gonna say another symbolic shot that stood out to me is when the baby gets baptized with the fucking oil. Like it's
HW before his dad dies, he gets like the little the joint.
Did you guys ever sounds really corny. I took a class on oil in college. And it kind of starts with a little before this, it starts more with like British colonization of the Middle East. But like this period in American history, and that was another thing that kind of like, came to me when on this viewing was like, this is definitely the most like brutal Wild West, back to like Lawrence's point about this being a Western. Everything was up for grabs. There was no law.
None.
It's kind of like, it was just like by the rule of like whoever fucking won.
Manifest destiny.
Whoever could eat, ate, and that's it.
For sure, 100%.
Brutal time period, and like, it definitely gave way to, I mean, just the shots of like the beautiful California nature being just succumbing to just the disgusting, sticky black oil shit was pretty wild.
Yeah, that's the thing that people like. PTA, I think, is known since he's a Californian boy. I believe he's from the San Fernando Valley. But his whole thing is he's always all about Cali, right? He's like a great Cali director. Boogie Nights is the porn industry in whatever, the late 70s, early 80s. Inherent Vice, that's like beach shit. That's like in the 1970s, fucking hippie shit. But like this is a California movie. Like people forget, right? And there's some geographical, they talk about Bakersfield and they obviously bring up Hollywood.
Talked about San Francisco.
Yep, exactly. But like this is a Cali movie. Yo, Chef, do you think this is like emblematic of? That's the thing that people like. Everyone thinks of California as like, it's a fucking bleeding heart liberals, fucking Hollywood, Illuminati, raping children. Like, yo, what the politics and the capitalism and this is what founded the state is what's in this movie. This is like a California origin story, and the shit is brutal and deadly and conservative, and people don't talk about it ever.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely. I mean, you could tie parallels between what happened in this flick to what's happening both in the Bay, like in Silicon Valley, as well as like in SoCal, right? Where people,
facts.
They won't stop at it, like fucking get what they want. Like it's the same shit. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely
unstoppable, megalomaniacal. What is it? Megalomaniacs, right? Those like.
It's interesting that this shit came out in 2007, right before the fucking like social tech boom. Like like Facebook, Twitter, and everything started like taking off around 2008. Like, dude, this man PTA, dude, fucking
He had the vision.
Stop crying, you sniveling ass. Stop your nonsense. You're just the afterbirth, Eli.
No.
Slithered out on your mother's filth.
No.
They should have put you in a glass jar on the mantelpiece. Where were you when Paul was suckling at his mother's teat? Where were you? Who was nursing you, poor Eli? One of Banda's sows? That land has been had. Nothing you can do about it. It's gone. It's had.
If you would just take this lease, Daniel.
Drainage! Drainage, Eli, you boy. Drain dry. I'm so sorry.
All right, let's talk about the DDL performance. I know the room is a little split on Paul Dano, but like, can we agree that DDL just fucking snapped out of his fucking gourd? Like, this to me is, it's got to be one of the most iconic characters, performances of all time. Easily of our lifetime.
What was this accent? Like, is this accent factual? Was this just like something
So I think it's based on who's the famous director who directed like some Treasure of the Sierra Madre, John Huston, right? It's based on him a little bit. I think it's based on like other kind of like big dick like egomaniac characters, but this shit to me is like this is a masterclass.
Is it like a Mid-Atlantic?
Well, he's from where did I forget in the movie they talk about, because his brother he says he's from
Wisconsin.
Oh, right, Fond du Lac. Yeah, right. So I don't know. I guess so. It's to me, it's just like, I don't even know what it is. This is why we joke about it. I feel like on the pod, we do the showdown shit. We do the competitor shit. Like, and we could talk about favorite quotes later, but like, it's so, yeah, exactly. It's just so, I mean, for me, for my money, I think this is the best DDL performance. And to be fair, Mans has 3 best actor Oscars. And I think this is the most superior of all of them, personally.
This was a tour de force. I mean, again, like kind of watching it 2 times before, you kind of only remember like I drink your milkshake.
Sure.
And I don't know, I've abandoned my baby boy. But
that was so real, dude.
That's your scene, Chef, behind you.
That fucked me up. Like, it's literally my background. This scene was where I was like, fuck, this shit's a fucking classic. Like,
give me the blood, Eli. Give me the blood.
Straight up. Yeah, no, so good. But on the flip side, at the end too, when he's being like a total dick about it to Paul Dano, like it was like I felt the same energy, if not like
it's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's so good.
He's such a scumbag. Shit, the whole fucking movie. The consistency and even how it like ladders up and gets just worse really is just impressive. Like from the like you can physically watch him become from a piece of shit to just a scumbag, scum of the earth. Like, it's amazing. The whole transformation. His body deteriorates. The limp gets worse. Obviously, part of that is age, but like it's incredible.
In your research, like how much of this was how much of his lines were like improvised, if any?
Oh, I don't, not at all. I mean, PTA is pretty much like, he's the guy that so obviously the way that the screenplay and script came about, it's based on an Upton Sinclair novel, but just broad strokes. And that was kind of like the source material to the point where, like, I believe that I don't even think it's considered an adapted screenplay because it's like so different from the source material. But I believe everything that DDL says, and I could be wrong here, but I'm almost positive that's in the script. He creates the character, but all the lines are full PTA. It's very deliberate, right? I don't know if you guys watch a ton of PTA movies, but it's all it's very deliberate. You can tell. It doesn't feel improvised.
It's like weird, like hand rub tick thing in the beginning, and like obviously like the leg breaking in the end.
Yeah,
like you said, is limping at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
do you guys have favorite quotes from the movie after having watched it recently? I wrote down 1 million. That's the other thing too. For me, every scene has like a ridiculously memorable quote. And what I don't think people think about when they think about this movie, and I use the same, I think about Kanye the same way. I love Kanye because he's so funny, right? It's serious music, but there's so many hilarious lines. And I feel like this movie, where people consider it very, very serious, but there's hilarious moments front to back in this movie, like very funny.
Don't be thick in front of me, Larry.
Yeah. Or like, what does he say? Shut up, you sniveling ass. They're just bangers like all over the place.
Just the afterbirth.
Yeah.
Slithered out on your mother's filth.
Slithered out on your mother's filth. Yeah, I mean, that's like, they should have put you in a glass jar on the mantelpiece. Like, bars, dude. Bars. Does anyone have a favorite quote? I mean, I know there's so many, but does anyone have anything that they want to shout out while we're here?
I think, like Sean mentioned, like there was a lot of silence at the beginning, and like that opening kind of like monologue where he like breaks down the business and gives them like the best, elevator pitch is like
that's the best moment.
Yeah. Like you guys were asking about like what kind of expectations we had going in. And, like, the movie was called, like, There Will Be Blood, so I thought it was going to be, like, some Red Dead Redemption-ass action type of shit, shooting guns everywhere, cannonballs and shit. So, but that part was, this is, like, a real thinker. I got to, like, pay attention, and he's about to blow my nuts off with this, like, crazy performance and accent.
I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what the others promise to do, when it comes to the showdown, they won't be there. Yeah,
And
it's the
really,
best.
the quotables, it's almost every line of his. Because like
Really.
when it comes to the showdown, I drink your milkshake. You know, give me the blood, Eli.
I'm gonna bury you underground, Eli. I'm gonna bury you underground. Yeah, fucking bars, dude. The whole fucking movie. It's incredible.
But I don't know, just like the accents, like everything, like too many quotables.
Yeah. Okay. So to sum up, I don't know if anyone has any other points, but I would love to go around and just pitchfork this from the core four, and I could go first because for me, you're getting a 10.0 best new Zuvi of the century, top one, dead or alive, not even a question. But I'd love to hear the rest of you, James. What do you think? What's your score?
Wait, pause.
Oh, like on just movies, all like so the benchmarks is movies all time.
Yeah, bro.
Pause. Are we talking like critically or like personal rating?
No, just no. How fuck the critics, dude. We're the people's champs. This is a people's podcast. Just how you feel personally. I'm a 10 out of 10 either way.
Am I being pitchfork and giving like a bad rating on purpose?
No, you're just using a score where you can do you can use a decimal if you want to.
I would say 8.9.
Woo! Low.
I did fall asleep twice.
Yeah, it's long. It's long.
I did watch this during a work meeting, like a solid hour during a work meeting, which was fire.
Very cool.
The whole fake brother thing to me was a little bit of a drag. Obviously,
he fucking gets that dude, bro.
Yeah, I think that was like necessary in showing him.
The way that ends, yes, great. And then like fucking, Bandy
catches him. Yep.
Being like, yo, like you got to go forgive yourself. But the whole, I don't know. I mean, that's just where I fell asleep was when like Henry Plainview or the fake Henry Plainview showed up. So to me, that's the only thing. And also, I don't know. I just want to leave room for other shit to like, beat it. And also, I don't know.
Do you have is there a PTA movie, James, that you prefer over this?
No, that's my favorite.
Okay. Because I think that for me, I love PTA so much, but I definitely think PTA is a director that has tiers. And in my opinion, the top, oh, wow, Chuck, we love you. The top PTA tier is just There Will Be Blood on its own. And then there's, The Master and Phantom Thread, which I know we all appreciate. That's like, Inherent Vice, second tier type stuff. But that's just me. Chef, what's your score?
I'd probably give it. I don't want to get like too like decimal pointy with it because that shit's bullshit. I'll give it like an 8.0 for me.
8.0.
Lower than
Woo.
lower than me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna give it a 9, and I'm not gonna give.
You've only seen it one time, by the way. You're gonna watch.
I've only seen it once.
If you watch it again, you might bump that up a bit.
I'll watch it again. I'll watch it again in like a year.
Like I definitely noticed a lot of shit this time. Again, my
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of those films where it's like you pick up like there's not a lot of attention or a lot of like driving into your brain about like, hey, like this is the guy that did that thing. Like you gotta like remember names, all that shit. Like remember.
Yeah. I think like because it was my first time watching it and I went into it blind, I was just so like captivated by the plot and the performances that like that's kind of like the only shit that I was really paying attention to,
Yeah, that's first and foremost. That's because it's your first time, right?
I wasn't looking for like symbolism or like any of that shit. Like obviously, as I was thinking about it afterward, like some stuff like came to my mind. But like in general, like it was a solid flick. Like 8 out of 10, I think is pretty good. There's not a lot of movies I'd put like on top of that. Besides,
for
like
sure.
Lady Bird, best movie of all time.
Well, I will say There Will Be Blood. More people get slapped in the face in this movie than Lady Bird. This movie has more slaps in the face per capita than like any other movie, which is another thing that I never even thought about till I'm watching it. Motherfuckers are getting slapped in the face across this whole movie, dude. It's incredible.
Yeah.
All right, Chuck, what's your score, doggy?
On a scale of movie to Zuvi, it's definitely a Zuvi.
Okay, thank you.
I would give it a 8.7.
What?
Solid 8.7.
Okay.
I mean I think some, I don't know, if anything I could have used a little more like Like I think James said, at times it kind of drags on, and it's like
It's long.
Yeah,
I mean,
get it?
it's not as long as Magnolia. And like, well, I mean, dude, this is PTA's thing. Well, here's my question now for you, Chuck, and then Chef. Is there a PTA movie that you prefer over this? Because in my opinion, there's no answer there. Like
only other one I've seen is Phantom Thread. And
so how do you rate them? What do you think this is better than Phantom Thread? You said that earlier, right?
1,000%.
What about
1,000,000%.
Chef? Have you seen other PTA?
I've seen Inherent Vice, I've seen Phantom Thread, and I've seen Punch Drunk Love. I think this is the best movie, but my favorite is still Phantom Thread.
Really? What would you rate that?
Right up there.
Phantom Thread?
Yeah.
And 8.5.
I mean, Phantom Thread is really, really good. I just rewatched that maybe 2 weeks ago.
I don't know. That
It's
just
really
that
good, but this is a whole nother monster, dude.
it just hit a little harder. You know, I got in my feels watching Phantom Thread, and I did not get in
James
my
loves
feels.
mushrooms.
He does. He really does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like we unpacked the shit out of this movie. I mean, I literally have 1,000 words worth of notes that we're not even remotely
This is
scratching the
fire.
surface on.
We should do The Social Network.
Bro, my top 3 movies of all time. 2 of them are There Will Be Blood and Social Network. I also have seen The Social Network 25, 30 times. I watch it multiple times every year. I watched it 2 months ago. I paid for it. Now it's free.
What's the third one?
Goodfellas, 2001: A Space Odyssey. My top 5, there's locks, but the order changes. Should we just do all top 5 Zoovies of all time? Should we do it right now?
No.
Too hard, man. Yeah. No.
Russell
Favorite
Larson.
number one.
I've been studying for this moment my whole life. So
Pineapple Express is number 1 for me, I think.
hell yeah,
Off
dude.
rip.
Hell yeah.
They got to remake. Did they got to do a Social Network sequel where it's like Russian disinformation?
Bro, did you not see that Sorkin? And he gave some bullshit quote, but he was saying like, "Yo, I'll do it." That script is awesome. That's a fucking. I think he won an Oscar for that shit.
Get Putin.
Fire. Anyway, so that's the TF. There Will Be Blood, Zuvi, introductory 101 joint, I guess.
Premiere.
What's up?
Series premiere.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's it. How long did we go? Where are we at?
Hour 24.
Oh, and this is not a podcast even. This is just hanging with the boys. Cheers.
What you got?
Yeah. All right. Is there anything that we need to do? Oh, also, just to make a point, that outro when the movie ends really is the most hit that motherfucking outro moment of all time, dude.
Finished.
From I'm finished to the fucking tunes to then the fucking title card with the wipe. Oh, you love to fucking see it. I wish we had editing ability so we could do the exact same thing like right now, but I don't think we do. So
I'm finished.
I'm finished.